This video is going to be a quick review over graphing with transformations, which is something you may have to do, especially in calculus, to make quick sketches. So instead of making tables for everything, it's easier to use transformations and move things around. So first, we'll start with the library of functions, and then we'll go on to what the actual transformation rules are. So you might want to stop this video and just pause it and take all this information down, because I'm just going to talk about these real quick here. But basically these are 5 different functions that you usually see the most, and these are all different key points. And the reason why I show key points is because you're going to use the key points in order to graph these. So each of these that are labeled here would be special key points that the graph goes through. So we basically go 1 to the right and up 1, or we go 4 places to the right and up 2. That's basically how it works. Absolute values, we're basically going up by 1, so up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, you keep doing that, going that way, and then going the other way, you go up 1 and 1 to the left. That's your absolute value graph. It always looks like a V. This is just your basic line, y equals x. So you can think of that as y equals mx plus b form. The b would be 0 in that case. It goes through 0, 0, and it goes through the other points here on that. Then you have the x squared graph, which is similar to the absolute value, except it's a U-shaped graph. And we have the special key points that are on this one here. So I have 5 points labeled on that one. And then the last one I have here is a cube graph. Again, all these graphs are, you notice they go through 0, 0. All the base graphs start at 0, 0, and transformations basically moves the graph left or right or up or down or flips it. That's basically what transformations are going to be doing. So hopefully you have all this down right now. So next we're going to move on to the different types of transformation rules. Okay, so here's our list of transformations. So transformations are basically a list of different things that causes the graph to move in different directions. We're letting f of x be the original function, so we can consider that as one of our 5 original functions we had, square root of x or absolute value of x, one of those 5. So if you've got that original function, you have a number on the end of it, like absolute value of x plus 1, something like that. It's going to take the absolute value graph, or whatever f of x happens to be, and it's going to move it straight up, so vertically up k units. That's what this one does. If you have a minus k, so it does the opposite, it'll move that graph down k units. If you have an x minus h, so what that might look like is absolute value of x minus 3 or x minus 5 squared, something like that. That's going to move f of x h units to the right. So it's always moves it opposite direction of what you have after the x there. So negative means you move it to the right. If you have a plus, then it means you move it to the left. So that's the up, down, left, and right movement is taking care of these first 4 transformations. Then we have some flips here. If you have a negative on the outside, so like you might have negative x squared, for instance, what that'll do is it does this. Flips, if it was opening up, it's now going to open down. Flips it down, negative does that. So it's flipping it over a horizontal axis. If you've got a negative on the inside, like a negative square root of x graph normally goes to the right. But if you have a negative inside, that's going to flip it and have it move over to the left. So these would be all your different transformations. So we're not going to do examples for every single one of those. But what I'll do is I'll just do a couple quick examples here so you can get the idea of how some of these work. So we'll do ones that combine some of these transformations together.